Look, you can't even make a pay in the corner, man.
Give somebody that coffee.
Oh.
Ready for that English coffee. Give it to him. You turned that around. Look like he on the phone. Give it to him, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Good sleep. Let's go, Lorenzo.
Shots in here, I keep a few tens. Champion song, yeah, I got a few rings and more. And you can stay up. And if you ask anybody where I live,
it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to give you some serious ammo, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so this is another installment in our prospect review video series. If you guys know any fighters with 10 fights or less that you want to see me talk about, give me a suggestion, and if I haven't talked about them already, I'll do a video about it. But in this video right here, we're going to talk about another one of South Florida's very own, a friend of the channel, someone that I definitely have a lot of respect for, and someone that I do think has a future in boxing, which is why I'm making a video about him. You know, you don't get a prospect review video on True School if I don't think something of you, you know. So with that being said, let's talk about him. The Giant Killer, Hialeah's very own, South Florida's very own. 8-0, 7 knockouts, heavyweight prospect, still very young. I know he carries himself like he's older than he actually is. He sometimes like to act older than he really is, but you know, he's 18 years old, and he's really off to a great start in his career thus far. So let's talk about him. So for those of you who don't know who is Lorenzo Medina, let me tell you who is Lorenzo Medina. It's a fighter that I started to see him a lot here in South Florida when I would go to the Davy Powell, and he was a fat kid who really wasn't at the time a standout amateur. His amateur career got out to a bit of a slow start. He was losing some fights to some fighters maybe he shouldn't have lost to in the amateurs, but he trusted the process. He stayed in the gym. He had that hunger to get better. And in 2021, he broke through and actually won the national title at super heavyweight, where he actually scored a big upset at the time. He beat Federico Pacheco, who some of you guys may know as Diego Pacheco's brother, also a heavyweight prospect who's on DAZN. He beat him as the underdog in the final, and that was really what kind of put his name on the map, because he wasn't expected to win that fight. And you know, he stayed hungry after that. You know, I've seen him spar some world-class pros in the gym. You know, he sparred some names that you guys will definitely know. He sparred Philip Hrgović. I was there when he sparred Philip Hrgović down at Mundo Boxing Gym. It was very good work. I also seen him spar Lawrence Okoli on a couple of occasions, the former WBO cruiserweight champion. So he's been sharpening them tools, sparring, you know, top fighters. I also spar guys like Brandon Glanton, who was also cruiserweight. So yeah, I mean, he's a bit of a smaller heavyweight, but he's also one of the youngest fighters in the heavyweight division. He's 18 years old, so I don't think he's done growing yet. He called himself the Giant Killer because he's not as big as Philip Hrgović or Tyson Fury or the big super heavyweights of today. But he's someone that I really feel boxing fans need to pay attention to, because first and foremost, he's got a great personality. He talks a lot of shit, you know, so he knows how to get people excited. His style, as far as boxing is concerned, the way he fights, it was influenced by the likes of James Toney and the great old school Philadelphia fighter Georgie Benton. So, you know, think about your real slick counter punchers. That's kind of what he is. I will classify Lorenzo's style. He's a real slick counter puncher who likes to beat the fuck out of you. You know, like think like James Toney, Vasily Jirov type style. When James Toney fought Vasily Jirov in the cruiserweight division, that's kind of how Lorenzo likes to fight. You know, and look, he's in a very interesting stage of his career, because he's at an age where you don't necessarily have to move the kid real quick. You can take your time. You can groom him to be, you know, the next contender in the heavyweight division. But also, he's showing such growth and maturity and skills that, you know, you'd almost feel comfortable putting in there with somebody who's of higher caliber. So obviously, he's 8-0. He's 19 years old. He's not going to really, he just turned 19, by the way, so happy belated birthday to him. But he's not going to be in the sanctioning body rankings right now. So right now, I'm going off of straight box rec rankings, because that's what I do. When fighters ain't in them sanctioning body rankings, I just go off the box rec rankings to see, kind of get a gauge of who they could be fighting next, right? So when we look at some of the guys ranked in and around him, he's ranked 229th in the world. And there's a couple of names I already see ranked around him. Now, I see Federico Pacheco, who's down there at 231. That could be a little rematch in the pros, but I don't think the zone or whoever has him signed is going to match him and Lorenzo up right away. So that's probably one for the future, right? But I do see some names of guys he probably could fight, and I think he would beat. At 212, ranked at 212, you got Daiquiri Mack Truck Scott, who got beat up by Jonathan Guidry on a Don King card last year. I think Lorenzo would beat him. That'd be a good little step up for him, slight step up fight for him. You got also somebody even of higher caliber who really I don't think should be boxing anymore, because he's been put through the ringer and whatnot. But he's a name, and he's fought Deontay Wilder. Maybe Eric Molina. He's got 38 fights. That'd be a good win on his resume, even though Eric Molina is shot to pieces. If he still wants to box, I mean, I could see Lorenzo beating him. And then if you want to go even a little further up, I mean, they got Romain Stavern there at 188, the former WBC heavyweight champion, who also shouldn't still be fighting. So there's some faded guys, some faded veterans. Bogdan Dino, another guy that can punch, that fought Jarrell Miller and whatnot. Those are some guys that have been around, that got experience, that I feel like if his manager, Ryan Rickey, wanted to step him up, get him a nice little veteran on his resume, those are three right there I'm looking at right there. But, I know Lorenzo's been very vocal. He wants to fight Richard Torres Jr. Richard Torres signed a top rank. He doesn't think Richard Torres is all that good. I know he'd be interested in fighting him down the road, maybe in a couple fights. So, I mean, listen, he's definitely someone to watch, man. Because every time I see him, he's always challenging himself in the gym. He's not one of these fighters that when you watch him, because I've been around a lot of gyms, right? And I've seen a lot of fighters. I'm not going to say no names, but I've seen a lot of fighters over the years when they're in the gym, they don't even look for the best sparring, and then they want to be picking and choosing who they spar. Lorenzo's not like that. He'll spar anybody. And it doesn't matter if that person kicks his ass in sparring. He'll still go back and spar him. So that shows me a willingness to learn and get better, and he has that willingness to learn and get better. And if you always had that quality in boxing and you had the talent, then God will bless you, and you'll have a chance to really make some noise in boxing. So I do think Lorenzo's going to be somebody that is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And he's still maturing, so who's to say that, when he's 22 or 23, or that he doesn't grow a couple inches and fill out even more. I mean, he's already filled out a lot in these 2 years since he's been pro, right? So all I just see for the kid is growth. All I see is success. All I see is someone that's going to be one of the most entertaining heavyweights in the division. Whether or not he becomes heavyweight champion, it's too early to tell. It really is, but I definitely think he's going to be someone that is a big factor in boxing. No doubt about it. For me, it's no doubt about it. It's not many fighters I can really say that about from South Florida, because I just don't think enough fighters in South Florida are disciplined enough. Just because, like, when you live in South Florida and you get any status or clout, or you start to do anything great in life, it's very easy to get caught up in, going to Miami and going to Lauderdale, and the women here are just like out of this world. I mean, I can't cap. It's unlike nowhere else in the world being here in South Florida when it comes to that. So naturally, a lot of fighters fall victim to that, but he's not one of them guys. He lives the life, and he's extremely talented. And the one word I just will always continue to use with his career has been growth. He's come so far in the last 3 years from the fat kid I saw in the Davey Powell, and I'm sure he's gonna get even better. So someone that's really slick, very hard to hit. Got a good gas tank, but also very good at placing those punches to the body. Just someone that really, I think, could be a big factor in the heavyweight division. Maybe not like right away, but I'm saying like 3 years from now, 4 years from now, you're going to see his name in the rankings, So I'm going to leave it at that. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think about Lorenzo Medina, if you've seen him fight? And just leave any thoughts concerning him down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.